up, sexy beast creature up here, and today we're going to be comparing the Skorpion Evo to the Vesper and looking at both these weapons on around 50, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So the first thing I'm going to do is let you guys watch and listen to both these weapons, both the unupgraded versions and the upgraded versions, just that way you guys can get a feel for them, so here you go. So the first comparison we're going to be taking a look at is going to be the fire rate. So I compare both these weapons side by side. I start shooting at the exact same time, and I kind of had to do a little bit of adjustments because the Skorpion Evo does carry 32 in the magazine, which is just such a random ass number, and I kind of forgot about that when I was getting the footage for it because I literally spent 3 hours just trying to get this damn weapon from the fucking box, because whenever you want to get a specific weapon from the box is like, hey, how about the ray gun Mark II? How about the ray gun? Take all these other weapons that you would normally want when you don't need them. So the box was kind of being a huge douchebag, and I kind of forgot how much ammo the Skorpion actually carries, so I made sure that when the Vesper starts shooting, the Skorpion Evo actually does have 30 in its magazine, so that way it actually matches up with the Vesper, and when I start shooting them both at the same time, they're basically even. Now on paper, one might be a little bit faster than the other, but in the game, side by side, they're basically even. There might be like a frame or two difference, but when it comes down to it, in an actual game, they're even. And that really didn't surprise me that much. Like, going into it, I thought the Skorpion was going to be a lot faster just because, in my memory, I put the Skorpion like right next to a bunch of other weapons that have insane fire rates, like the MG42, the FG42, the Black Ops 1 FAMAS. I just had it in that category with a lot of other weapons that have really good fire rates. And then when I actually put them together and saw that they were basically the same, I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. The Vesper does have an incredible fire rate, and it would make sense for them to actually be very similar. So the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is going to be the accuracy, so hipfire and recoil, and let's go ahead and start with hipfire first. So when it comes to hipfire, both these weapons do a good job at one thing and kind of suck at another. So let's talk about the Vesper first. When it comes to the Vesper, its recoil, even when it's hipfiring, is outrageous. You're just going to see that thing go straight up or left or right. It's going to be all over the place, but if you can actually manage that recoil, its hipfire is going to be really, really good. It has really tiny reticles, and you're going to notice that you can kind of pick off zombies while hipfiring from a pretty far distance, especially with an SMG. I feel like if you're hip firing with this weapon, as long as you can control the recoil, you're going to be able to hit zombies that are pretty far away. Now when it comes to the Skorpion, its reticles aren't as small as the Vespers, but its recoil when you're hip firing isn't as bad, so it's going to be more manageable. So like if I'm trying to shoot a zombie that's pretty far down the map and I'm trying to hip fire with it, I would probably want the Vesper. Just burst fire a little bit, you'll probably be able to take out that zombie. If you have a zombie that's like right up on you, you might want the Skorpion. It has a much wider reticle, and its recoil is actually easier to control. So it really all kind of depends on which situation you're in. So when it comes to hipfire, I'm kind of going to say that they're tied. And when it comes to actually like recoil when you're ADSing, I'm going to give this one to the Skorpion. The Skorpion barely moves whatsoever, but if we take a look at the Vesper, that thing goes all over the place. That thing goes left, right, up, down, middle, sideways, inside out, inverted. It's going to be going all over the place. I would say it's probably up there with the Type 25. Those weapons just have some insane recoil. Now you can always put some attachments on the Vesper to make some of its faults a little bit better, but in this video we're only going to be looking at the base weapons. Alright, and the last thing we're going to be taking a look at before we actually start looking at the upgraded weapons is going to be the reload speed. So when I start reloading at the exact same time, similar to the fire rate, they're going to be even. One might be a frame or two faster, but in an actual game of zombies, they're going to be the same. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about how much ammo these things actually do carry. So the Skorpion Evo is going to carry 32 in the magazine and 256 in stock. And when you actually upgrade it to the Evolved Death Stalker, it's going to carry 40 in the magazine and 320 in stock. Compared to the Vesper, the unupgraded version is going to carry 30 in the magazine and 210 in stock. So unupgraded wise, the Skorpion Evo does carry a little bit more, but when you actually upgrade the Vesper to the Infernus, it's going to carry 60 in the magazine and 360 in stock. So when it comes to the upgraded versions, the Vesper definitely does win when it comes to ammo. Alright, so now that we have both those weapons upgraded, let's go ahead and take a look at all those tests over again, and let's go ahead and start with the fire rate. So when I compare both these upgraded weapons side by side, we start shooting at the exact same time. I have them both lined up with 40 bullets in the magazine. The Vesper is just going to be a hair faster than the Skorpion. Not really much change there. It's going to be a little bit faster. I would say if you're playing zombies, you're in an actual game, and these two weapons were in the same map, you start using the Skorpion and you switch to the Vesper, you really wouldn't notice much of a difference in fire rate. They're very, very similar. But if you actually put them together side by side and went frame by frame, the Vesper does get done shooting a little bit quicker than the Skorpion. Alright, and now if we take a look at the accuracy with both these upgraded weapons, nothing really changes. What they were good at unupgraded, they're basically going to be the exact same upgraded. Nothing really changes when it comes to accuracy. Recoil wise, the Vesper is kind of going to be all over the place, and with the Skorpion, it's a little bit more manageable. Hipfire wise, you can definitely sort of pick zombies off a little bit farther away with the Vesper as long as you're burst firing and as long as you can control that recoil, and with the Skorpion, its reticles are going to be a little bit bigger, so hip firing from a far distance isn't really going to be such a good idea. So when it comes to accuracy, nothing really changes when you actually upgrade it. Alright, and when it comes to reloading, that's where things do change up a little bit. The Vesper is just going to have such a fast reload time compared to the Skorpion. I feel like with all the Black Ops 3 weapons, they were kind of just like, fuck it, make them all reload super fast, I don't care, because almost every single Black Ops 3 weapon, when you upgrade it, just has such a faster reload speed than almost every other single weapon in Zombies. Like, every versus I've ever done, 9 times out of 10, I would say, the Black Ops 3 upgraded weapon has a faster reload speed than World War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2. Alright, and lastly, before we actually do get to these weapons on round 50, here are both these weapons compared side by side with Double Tap and Speed Cola. Nothing is going to change. I just find it pretty interesting to see what these weapons look like with some perks. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at both these guns on round 50. Let's go ahead and look at the Skorpion Evo first. So the Skorpion Evo on round 50 is kind of a disappointment in all honesty. I remember when I was going to round 50 on Origins to test this weapon out, I was really excited for it because in my mind, I was thinking of the Thompson. The Thompson has a fast fire rate and it was a badass on round 50. So I was like, okay, the Skorpion Evo is kind of like the Thompson. Maybe it's going to be a really good weapon. And on round 50, the only thing I noticed about it was it went through ammo very, very quick and it was not doing anything whatsoever. I maybe got a couple kills, but nothing really to write home about. And it really sucks for the Skorpion that it's not a wall weapon and it doesn't have any gobblegum to go with it. So on round 50, you're going to go through ammo really quick, not have anything to show for it, you're not going to get any kills. I mean, you'll get points, but do you really need points on high rounds? So on high rounds, I really would not recommend having the Skorpion. It's going to do absolutely nothing. But on early rounds, I would say like 1 through 30, it's a fantastic weapon to have. Definitely one of my favorites. I always grab it from the box whenever I get the chance. It's a really good point horror weapon and a really good zombie killing weapon just because it has such a fast fire rate. But once it actually gets up to like the 30s and 40s and actually needs more damage, that's where I would kind of trade off for something else. So now let's take a look at the Vesper. We've actually compared the Vesper to a lot of weapons. I think we compared it to the Thompson and the FG42. And on round 50, the Vesper is definitely like one of the best weapons in Zombies, especially because it's a wall weapon. You can constantly go back and get more ammo. Now the footage you are actually watching right now is the Vesper without any attachments whatsoever. I played in a private match, and I'm not even a high enough level on Black Ops 3 on PC to actually start putting attachments on my weapons, because all I ever do is play private matches and custom zombies, and even without attachments on round 50, the Vesper is still kicking ass. It's killing those zombies pretty quick. Now the recoil is kind of hard to maintain, but if you can actually maintain that recoil, you're going to notice that you're picking off zombies very, very quick. And once you actually do get some attachments on the Vesper and get it to how you like it, this thing is absolutely amazing. You're going to kill so many zombies with it, and it's just so good because it's a wall weapon. You're going to go through ammo quick because it has a fast fire rate, but you can constantly go back and get more ammo, and every time I've used the Vesper, as long as you're constantly thinking, okay, I need to get enough points to buy ammo, you always make that 4,500 back so that we can keep going back and grabbing more ammo. So when it comes to which of these weapons is the better one to have if they were on the same map, I would definitely say on early rounds I would probably stick with the Skorpion just because the upgraded version carries a little bit more ammo, but when you actually do get to higher and higher rounds, you might want to hop off and switch over to the Vesper just because it carries more ammo, it has a faster fire rate, and it can kill zombies on high rounds. So when it comes to which one do I actually prefer, putting aside its strengths and weaknesses, I would definitely say both. I really don't think I could pick one over the other. I love them both the same. So I'm very curious to know, which one do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.